Hey everyone, I'm Rick Lawler. I'm a modeler. I work with 𝗥𝗶 Interactive, and let's see, what do I do with 𝗥𝗶 and modeling in general? Well, I do a lot of the content for the magazines, for a lot of the various magazines and some of their special book publications. I also work with a little bit of the marketing in the United States and work with some of the talent that we try to bring on hand for the 𝗥𝗶 team. I think probably most often people think of me as an armor modeler, and that's true. I do a lot of armor modeling, especially looking back a lot of World War II. I tend to focus on less popular subjects, let's put it that way, so a lot of smaller or more unknown subjects, and that could vary between eras, between generally World War II and the modern era. I am particularly interested in dioramas, so almost all the models or the projects that I work with will include some sort of a scene, a diorama base, and figures. So how did I get started in modeling? I think I was born that way, but I actually do have remembrances. My first model kit that I remember getting was for my 5th birthday, and that was from my grandfather, and that was a little race car. And I built it the best I could using the tube of glue, painted it with the testers, repainted it with testers, paints, but I was hooked from that point forward. And I don't remember a period in my life from 5 years old until now where I haven't built models. Especially as my teenage years came about, actually as many people drop away from the hobby, I became more interested because I was able to, I have an interest in history. And so it was that combination of the interest in history and being able to portray that in scale modeling that really secured my path going forward in scale modeling up until this point in time, and has allowed me to continue to do that as now a professional modeler. So, becoming a professional modeler, can you do it? Yes, it is possible. It's difficult, and there's a lot of different paths, I think, in order to get there. My path is kind of roundabout because I did it as a hobby for basically my entire life. With my single goal at some point was just to become published in magazines. Along with that, I also worked in the commercial side of the industry. That means I built models for museums, trade shows, things like that. So I worked on both sides of the equation, the hobby side and the commercial side. And it was recently, in the last, let's say, 5-6 years, that I left the commercial side to devote most of my attention towards the what we'd call the hobby side, the modeling side of the world. It's just a matter of continuing to enjoy myself within the hobby. Personal growth might be just gluing the part onto the model just a little bit better next time than the last time, or making a better paint job or something like that, but it's just about personal growth in small increments and just continuing to enjoy the hobby. And I purposely chose sites where there were modelers there that I held in high regard, who had achieved a level beyond what I was currently doing. And it was very helpful and encouraging, and sometimes disappointing, to hear what they had to say about what I was working at. But if I set my ego aside, and that's probably the biggest thing, I'm not going to be always perfect, I understand that. But if you can set your ego aside and listen to what people are saying in their criticisms and their critiques, take it to the next model and keep those in the back of your head. Just like every little step helps. Beyond home, family, and just living my life, but modeling is a big part of my life. That is what I do for my career, that's what I enjoy, that's my free time, that's my profession. So it takes up a lot of my time, but it is also a lot of my passion. So recommendations moving forward for modelers, I would say continue to enjoy the hobby, find the things that you like to do, explore new things. I think that's important, is to try maybe something a little bit beyond your normal routine, maybe a new tool, a new technique, a new product or something like that. But most important, just make sure that you keep that whole idea of it's a new day, it's a new experience, and have a great time doing it.